Hello again, dear students. Sorry for this interruption. So we are still with page 10. Here also we have an in-text citations note. As you can see here, for example, not this one. Okay, this one, not page 10. Sorry, page 8. Here, it is indicated to list a few sources as examples of a larger body of work. You can use the word "see" in the parenthetical as we have done here. Sometimes when you'd like to mention, let's say, a larger body of your work or a work you are adopting in your research paper, and you relied heavily on many different sources. So here you don't need to mention, let's say, the whole body, the whole body of work, but you should make some selections by using the word "see." See, for example, e.g. Bloom et al. 1956, Kashin 1990, Thial 2017. So in this case, you would like just to show the readers that you have really a larger body of work, but you have just indicated to very few of them. Okay, as you can see in this parenthetical, in this parenthesis. All right. What else? Still we are with the, I think, with the meta-analysis section of this research paper, which we are not interested in. We're interested in this in-text citations. Here we have, in this paragraph, we have many quotations presented from different locations in the original source. For example, if you are interested to follow or to pick up some important quotations, these quotations are located, okay, in the original source, let's say in one source. So each quotation should be followed by the corresponding page number as indicated here. So as you can see, a grade leniently administer ratings before tests. So you should mention the pages here, not teach required courses, page 1003, and so on and so forth. So the page numbers should go after what your quotations. Remember this very well. Any quotation should be followed by by a parenthetical, let's say, including the page number of the original source. And if there is no original source, we have what's called the indirect source. So you should use as cited in, for instance. It's okay, regardless if you'd like to share to the original writer. لا بأس يعني. And let's move on. Here, as you can see, the author has proceeded discussing the, let's say, discussing the interpreting the analysis of data and so on and so forth. All right, so this is one of the most significant in citation issues. Quotations, as you can see, I will, okay. Quotations that are longer than 40 words. So we have long quotation, we have short quotations. Short quotations are less than 40 words. 10 words, 15 words. But if they exceed 40 words, these 40 words should be formatted as a block quotations. You should indent the whole block, not the first line. The entire passage, the entire paragraph, half an inch, and present the passage without quotation marks. يعني تسوونها من شوي تضغطوها نص inch okay, according to APA style, only one side, فقط هذا السايد الأيسر, just half an inch, without quotation marks. Please don't put quotation marks for block quotations that exceed 40 words, okay? And any relevant page numbers should follow the concluding punctuation mark. For instance, you started from here, measurement driven, and you ended with score-based inferences. You should include the page numbers. Don't forget that. Sometimes when you cite multiple sources, okay, these sources written by the same author. For example, one author has written many sources, and each source has different, of course, have different year publication or the same year publication. I will show you this, okay? So you should simply list the author, the name of the author or authors, then list the years of the sources separated by commas. يعني عدة مؤلفات كتبت من قبل كاتب واحد أو عدة كتاب، okay؟ لنفس المؤلف قصدي، فإنه you should write the name of the author and the years followed in this case, okay? Regardless of the number of books the author has written. I'm talking about citation style, citing multiple sources. يعني إذا بدي أسوي sources عدة لنفس المؤلف، شلون أسوي الانتك citation، شلون أوثق، شلون أسوي documentation صحيح. You see? يعني for example, just in Arabic, if these 3-4 boxes share the same ideas, that I feel myself really interested. يعني عندي أنا أفكار شفتها بهاي المؤلفات الأربعة الخمسة كلش interesting وأنا interested, and I will include them in my research, and in this case I should do this. All right? So the author has discussed the materials and methods and many different things, and this is not here. Some research, for instance, some researchers are interested to do research in education or in linguistics or whatever. Sometimes they use some scales, okay, or responses like strongly agree, disagree, agree, strongly disagree, or undecided. In this case, you should italicize these scales, so خطوط مائلة, or responses, okay, rather than presenting them in quotation marks. And also, please do not also include do not italicize the numbers, okay, if the scales responses are numbered in this case. Just italicize them and that's all. This is the end of the story. If your research include this in the future, يعني إذا بحث مالتكم في المستقبل كتبتوا وعندكم استبيان questionnaire or attitude survey, in this case do not number, please. 1 strongly agree, 2 agree, 3 disagree. No, just italicize them. That's all. That's enough. Even though, for instance, if you use numbers, do not italicize numbers. Let's move on. Seems to be all right. If you have figures and tables, you know that some research body, for instance, includes or contains some figures, tables, diagrams, let's say some drawings and so on. So in this case, tables and figures and all this stuff should be numbered sequentially. It means that figure 1, figure 2, figure 3, figure 4, and so on. So they are, in this case, they are identified as the second level heading. Should be bold, should be title case, and so on. And should be followed by an italic title that briefly describes the content of the table or figure. This is the italicized, let's say, title as we indicated earlier. هذا ناقشناه في أحد الدروس الماضية، أنه إذا عندكم فيجرات أو تيبلات، أشكال tables، رسومات معينة، diagramات، you have to put titles here according to APA style, and this title should be italicized. يكون مائل شوية, right? Describing the content of your figure or table or diagram. And this is one of the simple notes, indicates that table and figure notes are preceded by label note. Note here written in italics, ما إلى شوية تكون. The general notes that apply to the entire table should come before specific notes indicated with superscripted lowercase letters that correspond to specific locations in the figure. Most of the time we don't need to do this. I myself don't do it. Okay, this is for, let's say, for very specific examples, like for instance, social sciences, right? And if you adopt some statistics in and so on, so it's okay if you follow it, all right? So if you have tables, we should likewise we should use tables with the same way we do with figures. They are titled, numbered in the same way, sequentially 1, 2, 3, followed by notes, present the same way as figure follows notes, and also you should indicate here, include here, short title, italicized title that describes the content of your table. يعني نفس الطريقة اللي سوينا بها we describe figures, how to make citations for figures, and as you can see here, the title, the figure title, we do the same. We do the same with tables here. Okay, it's very very simple one. So don't worry about it. Okay. So here we have what's called, sometimes we have very long tables. It might take, for instance, to extend to 2 pages or 3 pages. بعض الأحيان التيبلات تكون تأخذ 3 صفحات صفحتين. And in this case, repeat the column labels on each name page, and you should repeat the same as done before here. Suit, number of items, the description. When you go to the second page, please repeat the same, so that you should keep the reader on track here. حتى القارئ يتبع انه يصير عنده نوع من الفولو اب بالمعلومات مالته. You should repeat the title, the main headings of your table, a suite of a number of items, the description. All right. Sometimes, so in addition to this, in addition to presenting figures on tables inside your text, you also might be interested in presenting them in some appendices at the end of the document. Sometimes, for example, one of data collection you use is as a questionnaire or a student's attitude survey, okay? In this case, you should include the questionnaire or the attitude survey or test, okay, at the end of your research paper. And whenever necessary, you should refer to them by saying just see Appendix 1, for instance, for additional sample items. See Appendix 2, see Appendix 3, and so on. هاي الملحقات أو الملحق اللي نستخدمه احنا عاده مثلا استبيان، قد يكون اختبار، امتحان، الانترفيو مثلا questions، الاسئله الخاصه بالمقابلات. These should be what should be documented too. لازم نوثقها. Should be also annexed to the end of your research paper. تلحق في نهايه البيبر مالتك. And you should refer it whenever necessary. بنحتاج انه نشير لها اشاره. I should say, okay, see appendix 1. See the question number 5 in the appendix 1, all right? Or appendix A or appendix B, this depends. Okay, this is what is meant by that. So in general, your appendices should not be included in the body of your research, because this will be distracting, will be confusing to the reader.